And the thing about me and overwhelm is that my brain just begins to kind of sleep a little. And the worst thing that can happen to me is for me to go into hibernation. Hola, happy new year. I finally made it here today. I have been meaning to come in here and check on you, have a little chit chat. And we're already 1 month into the year. Time really does fly. Well, I'm glad I'm here now and I'm doing this. I trust your year has begun well and you're off to a good start. Well, for me, my year began a little bit on the shaky side. It's just the beginning of the year and I was almost getting into overwhelm. It doesn't sound like, something that should happen at the beginning of the year. I know. But you know the thing about a new year? It's just another day, another week, another month. It's a continuation of life in general. I know it just helps us with milestones, oh, this new year, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But really, sometimes we tend to get into the trap of pressuring ourselves to overcompensate for the things that we probably didn't get to do the previous year. And the year just begins, and before you know it, you're getting into overwhelm. I think that's the word. Is that the word? I think that's the word. Because for me, I don't do so good with overwhelm, so I try to be conscious that I don't get there. And the year just began. The year began on a chilled note, but then I thought, okay, I plan to do this course, I plan to do this training, I plan to record this, I plan to do that. And when my chilled time was over, that was like the second week of the year, I suddenly wanted to do this, that, and everything. Not intentionally, but somehow stuff started overlapping. And then I had to take a break and realize, oh, this might get into overwhelm if I'm not careful. And the thing about me and overwhelm is that my brain just begins to kind of sleep a little. I won't say shuts down, but just like, begins to just slow down because I'm trying to juggle too much. And the worst thing that can happen to me is for me to go into hibernation. If my brain goes into hibernation, if I go into hibernation, to come out takes a little bit of time. So yeah, that's how it's been for me in just 1 month. But I'm glad that I was able to just call myself to order and started doing it one thing at a time. But so far, the year looks very promising. Like I said, it's called a new year, but in reality, it's just the start of a new day, a new week, a new month. The milestone is good so that we can, do the checks and the balances and the adjustments. But it's just another day. It's not about the new year. It's about the thing you want to do with yourself every other day of your life, every day of your life, every week, every month. So whether it's a new year, the middle of a year that is ending, this is just the life you want to live. So after all is said and done, it's really back to what you want in life. The question will still remain, what do I want? Not what do I want to do, not what do I need, but what do I want? What do I want my life to be? Whether I'm starting a year or ending a year. Basically, what do I want my life to be at all times? It's about the rhythm of life you want. It's about how you want your life to roll. It's about how you want to show up in life all the time or most of the time. It's about how you want to play in the game of life. So yeah, back to the question. What do you want? Even though I've answered that question, I still go back to it over and over again because it's something that you need to check again. Now I'm at this intersection, or I'm at this milestone, or I'm at this juncture in my life. Touch base. Touch base and ask the question, what do I want? Maybe you've answered the question on a broader level, how you want your life to be on a normal all the time, and then you start working towards it. But that question presents itself to us every time, especially at the start of a new year like this. So this new year, you go into the year, 2026, or whatever new year it is, and all those things that you seem to want to happen this year, you begin to go after them, pursue them. But it's a good time to just sit down and ask yourself, what do I really want? Not because it's a new year, not because it's a new month, not because it's a new week or a new day. What do I want my life to be in general? How do I want to show up in life? Who do I want to be? What do I want to be characteristic of my living? Do I just want to continue on autopilot, just existing unconsciously? Or do I want to actually pause, recenter, regroup, exhale, and consciously live a life that feels authentically mine? A life that I prefer, ideally. You know what they call it? The preferred ideal. That's what I call it. Is that what I would rather? Or do I just want to keep going as usual? Just keep going with the flow, going and taking on whatever comes at me as I carry on with life. What life throws at me, I pick it and do with it as I can, as much as I can. Or do I want to just consciously decide, choose the life I want to live? That's the question for the year. What do you want? What do I want as a person? Not what my father wants or my mother wants, not what my spouse wants, not what my child wants, not what my friends and well wishers and well meaning people around me want, is what I want. You know what that does for us? It makes us get really conscious of how we live our lives. It helps us become intentional about our decisions, our choices, what we make room for, what we get involved in. So in this new year, I'm not saying take it with a pinch of salt. I'm only saying treat it like every other day, because your life is meant to just be your life, whether it's a new year or not. For me, I answered the question. That question was so impactful, such a pivotal question in my life, that so much so that I wrote a book on it, a whole book, which I just published, by the way. And all the links are there in my bio and every place where I show up online. That question was the life-changing question for me. And that's why I can sit down here and tell you that the new year began just like every other day. Because at the end of the day, it's not about the year. It's about you. It's about your life. It's about what you want. It's about how you want to show up and what your preferred ideal is. I want us to have this conversation more often. Well, every other time throughout the year, the whole of the year, but mostly this beginning of the year. So I want to keep talking about it the next time we come on here. Or in the meantime, think about it. Think about what you want for yourself, not what you need, what you want. There's a difference. We'll talk about all of those in subsequent discussions. In the meantime, if you want a deeper dive into this conversation, just let me know in the comments. I'm so glad I was able to come on here for us to have a discussion today. I'll just keep it at that for now. Let's keep it short for today, okay? We'll continue next time. For now, adios. As always, like, share, subscribe, and come back next time. Bye.